Well, so here we are in Lisbon, or
We are.
Lisboa. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce anything. And we're going to go on yet another foray into the world of tinned food. Last time we did this was in Montreal. And gosh, it was fun.
That was different.
The canned duck was one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. And we're going to try some canned seafood, right?
We are, because Portugal's famous for that. And so this place it's a little more touristy than we usually go, but we have been assured that even though it's touristy, it's still actually good and authentic and all that stuff. And even though Anthony Bourdain came here and everything,
Well, you know it's going to be good.
yeah, except things change over time,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Especially they're often a victim of their success, but we'll go see.
Let's check it out. We're on the Peak Street. Aha. So this is Sol y Pesca. Look at that. So we have.
I actually recognize a couple of brands from famous foods in Vancouver.
Oh wow.
It's kind of cool. Nice to know that they carry those.
So the menu comes attached to a fishing rod,
Yes,
which is
you know
highly
you're in Kitch
apropos.
Tourist land when. But still, it's cute.
Let's
It
see
is
over
cute.
here. So you can get olives and breads, cheeses, anchovies and apple, which is good. So I think the general thing here is you order a glass of wine and you get a couple of different tins of things and some bread.
Smoked small sardines.
Ooh, let's get some of those.
Or smoked fillet.
Ooh, let's get some of
Bermudas.
those.
So they're various different. There's mackerel. I read someone said the mackerel was outstanding.
Smoked fillet of mackerel. There we are.
So maybe we wanted
So
to.
yeah, in case you're wondering, we have a bit of a fetish. We're
We do like
resolved
the
to get
smoked
some
thing.
smoked things here.
But I also read that the cod liver was quite nice.
Cod liver is good.
Yeah. So I think we have a look over.
Codfish liver's taste right there, where your finger is.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some making cool choices. We're gonna have some smoked codfish liver, not the cod liver oil your mom gave you when you were a kid when you were
My
sick.
mother never did that.
You didn't? Oh.
No, we had vitamin E oil instead.
Oh, nice. And we're going to get cups of house wine and some octopus and some
Smoked sardines.
sardines. Yes. So,
We would like 1 cup of white, 1 cup of red house wine, octopus green sauce, this
smoked sardine fillet. Order bread with that usually?
Yeah, because the candy is coming in sauce.
Okay, great. So a little
we'll
bit
have
of bread as well. It's just such an unusual concept for a restaurant. It's
But there are a few
everything's
of these in Lisbon. There are a few of these in Lisbon.
Yeah.
This is not
Yeah.
the only one. We were looking at one online called Miss Can, and there's another one as well. So it's a thing here, right?
And what's interesting about this is that, contrary to what one might think, this is not like, opening a package of bologna and getting some real budget food. Sometimes this is actually better in some cases and somewhat more expensive than buying the fresh version of what's canned.
The way I understand it is that these are canned in very fresh, local, well, not in the case of the cod, I guess, but very fresh seafood that is canned immediately and therefore is at its best.
And it's a very funky little spot. It's a little hole in the wall, not more than 10 feet across. And as you can see, all kinds of canned stuff there and some fishing and prawning memorabilia out here. And it's just wine and canned stuff. So there it comes. Thank you.
So I had read that this place is usually packed, particularly at night. But we are here in the off season. It's early February, and
2 o'clock in the afternoon?
yeah, so maybe it's off time, off season. If you're here at night, it might be really crowded. That's what I read. That the service was not great, but it was often because it was really crowded. So
No problem here.
we lucked out.
With some lovely looking bread and some octopus salad
That's octopus in green sauce.
and green sauce, yes.
And
And then
this
this is the
sardine.
smoked sardines. That looks fantastic.
That's some beautiful looking bread. We've had great bread here in Portugal. Look at that.
We have a little bit of wine, a little bit of bread. So go ahead, try a taste of something here.
Going in on the octopus salad. Octopus is super tender.
Is it different from any other octopus we had, or is it?
So it's very similar to the fresh octopus we've had. It's nice and tender, but there's some brightness. You get the olive oil, but there's also parsley and like a vinaigrette.
Is it lemon or?
No, I think it's vinegar. With parsley and really minced green pepper. So it's got a brightness to it. that's
And
quite
does it
nice.
pair well with your wine?
Truth be told, it's probably better with a white wine or a sparkling wine, but I like my reds. So I'm happy anyway.
This is the mackerel, I believe, with olives and almonds, which is
Cool.
going to be an interesting one.
If you go to the websites for some of these places that sell the canned seafood, they actually have recipes of what to do. We were on, I think it was the Miss Can website, and it had all sorts of recipes like baked potato, break it open, add some egg, and then add the seafood. So interesting, you can do all sorts of things with it. They do have a cookbook here, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Now, I love octopus, and some people have different attitudes about eating octopus, but by gosh, it's a traditional thing here, and I just absolutely love it. Oh,
Right?
so tender.
Tender. Right.
And then you get this awesome, really good bread to go with that you can dunk in the juices and the olive oil and everything. And
Got some bread here, and I just dipped it in the olive oil that came with the smoked sardine.
And the sardines themselves are just beautiful. You can see how meticulously prepared that they are before they go in the can. It's just quite amazing.
That's pretty tasty. I'm a sucker for smoked foods.
Me too. Oh, and then for the capper, some white wine. Oh yeah. Smoked sardine for the win.
Here's the thing, when you're in Spain or Portugal, the house wine is really
Freaking good.
not bad. Like,
In Canada, a bottle that would cost you 20, 25 bucks, you can get for 3 or 4 euros.
€4.
Here. Yeah.
what?
Smoked
sardine.
Yeah.
Octopus.
I like the brightness in the octopus because it cuts through the olive oil and the smokiness of the other dish. Nice contrast to have.
So parsley and really finely minced green pepper, and onion
Yeah.
and vinegar with the olive oil that the octopus comes in. This really makes a nice vinaigrette.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that octopus is really rubbery and chewy, and this is like butter. It's amazing.
So this came instead of a spoon. This came with like a butter knife. So I'm thinking it's meant to go directly onto the bread. Come sa.
Yeah.
And this is the one that had almonds and
Olives. Yeah. This mackerel.
Mackerel, almonds and olives.
Is that a yummy thing?
So they put fresh thyme on top. So you really get the thyme, just really grow thyme in the garden.
Oh, cool.
And they've sprinkled it over the top so you get this bright flavor from the thyme. But it's tasty.
Yeah, this is not a mild flavored lunch. Oh yeah, the thyme.
So good.
The thyme, really. This calls for more wine. But I know that when I get home, I'm going to search out some of these smoked sardines and make a regular lunch of that, because that is just delicious.
Or we might bring some home with us.
This is such a great concept for if you want to have, if you're having guests over for drinks or something like that, because you're using the canned, really premium quality seafood as a base for something, mixed with some really good olive oil, and then fresh herbs, or in this case, like fresh bits of pepper, and onion, and vinaigrette. And the whole thing just comes together and becomes, more than the sum of its parts.
If you have good wine,
it's really
if
good.
you have good bread,
You're good. I wouldn't classify this, cheers, as being a full meal. Actually, you have to have a drink if you do that.
I would.
It's somewhere between a tapas snack and a full meal, but it would be nice to have a vegetable.
To me,
Nope. Hello.
nicely done.
The wine's working.
Getting to it. But so for me, this makes a perfectly good lunch, and I don't feel in any way like I don't have enough food.
It's a good warm up for dinner. But this is the best
fine
part
as
is
it is.
the smoky olive oil from the sardines. with a bit of good crusty bread. Ooh. Hey, well, that was really good. That was 30 euros
Okay,
for
so
2 big glasses of wine and some smoked items and some three items of canned.
so
stuff.
not the cheapest meal we've ever had, but as I was saying earlier, Lisbon is not cheap.
No.
So 30 euros, including a couple of glasses of wine, is not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the food was really good. So we will put all the stuff down below in the description box so that you too can come here if you find yourself in Lisbon.
And we might try another one tomorrow.
We might. We're talking about maybe.
So, we had so much fun at the last tin seafood place.
We did.
We're gluttons for punishment, or just plain gluttons, one of the two.
The latter.
Laurel, in her infinite wisdom and profound Googling abilities, found another one. And this one is called Miss Can. And it's allegedly a true Portuguese experience. So. So shall we grab a menu? And, they have their own brand, which is cool. And let's see, what do they have here that is yummy?
Sardine roe, anchovies, smoked trout, razor clams in brine, marinated mussels, horse mackerel and olive oil, garlic, and parsley. They have the codfish versions. They've got a stuffed Portuguese-style squid.
That's tempting. That is.
Yeah, you were looking at stuffed squid yesterday.
I like this. What's your fancy? What are you thinking of? We did enough octopus yesterday to empty the ocean.
I like the idea of stuffed squid, and if you want the olives and lupins.
Lupins.
Lupins are also called lupini beans. They're
right there. Right.
Incidentally, here I'm going to Cliff Clavin on you.
Well, many people, Sammy, are unaware of the lupin bean.
Of all the
ancient
beans.
Phoenicians invented the lupin bean.
So the problem with lupins is that they have to be treated. You have to soak them and boil them.
Poisonous.
It takes days, but they have the highest protein content of all the beans.
Thank you, Cliff.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we wanted the stuffed squid. And the spicy olive oil sardines.
Okay.
And I would like a glass of the house red.
Okay.
And did you want beer?
I'll have a medium beer. That's good.
Medium beer.
And we're going to get some bread
bread?
and some olives.
Olives.
Bread and
That's
olives.
good to me.
Yeah.
That's a good lunch.
Yeah.
Well, this is beautiful sunny day. And
Yeah, it started as a very
middle of
hazy-
February, which is a nice break from sub-zero Vancouver at the moment.
It is a beautiful February day, and we can sit outside and have wine and tinned seafood, and that's
Stuffed cephalopods.
somehow that seems very strangely sophisticated, even though it's tinned seafood.
Yeah, it's also, we've seen enough churches today to feel somewhat guilty about it. So beverages have arrived.
They fill it right to the top.
It's a sobriety test. And we don't normally order drinks with food when we go out, but here it just sort of seems like a thing to do.
When in Rome.
Yeah, or Portugal, as it were. Ooh,
Basket of bread. Here. Sardine spice.
Spicy.
Squid. And here. Olives and lupins. And this is the spicy. If you put spicy in this is squid, this becomes squid. Enjoy.
Excellent.
Thanks very much. All right, so we have some very nice looking rustic bread and stuffed squid and spicy sardines and olives and lupin beans. Oh, that's a stuffed squid.
It is.
Look at that. So you cut a little portion of that. Look at that.
Isn't it cute?
That'll be a job. What do you do? I stuff squid all day long. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. What's it stuffed with is the
It
question.
looks like tuna. Or and rice, I don't know. Let's have a... I think it's stuffed with tuna and rice.
Wow.
Exactly as I said. And the sauce is a little spicy, like a slightly spicy olive oil.
Here's one of these guys. That looks pretty awesome. So if your only exposure to tinned seafood has been those little cans of smoked oysters that your parents used to get during the Grey Cup, kind of barbecue or whatever it was, this is a whole different league. A whole different league. This is really high end, actually. It's very, very good.
Yes. Okay, now I'm getting the heat.
I told you.
How is that thing?
It's very
Very
good,
nice.
thank you.
Thank you. Oh, the sardines look so plump and yummy.
So you know how in chilies, depends on the chili that you're eating, there are ones that hit you on the lips, ones that hit you at the tip of your tongue, wherever. This chili oil is just at the back of your mouth and down your throat. Almost nothing in the mouth. So at first it didn't seem like it was hot at all. It's not super hot. I could probably add some more of that, but it's tasty.
These sardines are just like big,
They're beautiful.
fat, plump. They're beautifully prepared.
I'm going to have to agree and say that the Portuguese, they know how to do tinned seafood.
They do tin stuff really, really well. Yeah, this whole trip has inspired us to go to the pantry and consider this as a lunch option way more often than what we used to. Cheers. 2 days in a row. This is really cool because you can see that the bones have not been removed from these guys, and the way that they're prepared, it's you eat the whole thing. And I was going to say the stuffing in these things is amazing, but there is no stuffing per se.
Those are just sardines.
Yeah, I know. So plump and, just fall apart there with your fork. Just fantastic. So what I find so interesting about this is in the case of the sardine, a fresh sardine would, what's going to cost you 25 cents or something like that to buy in the market. Then you grill it up fresh, and it is undeniably fantastic. But there is something about the transformation that happens when that ingredient gets seasoned and canned properly, because it develops this umami, like a real depth of flavor that's really unique.
Particularly if it's done in a good oil.
Yes.
Like this. And, as you said, the bones, they almost melt, right?
They totally melt. You don't even notice that they're
there. A
there.
fresh sardine, you're probably going to want to pick the bones out. But when you're eating a canned sardine, you don't even notice them.
It just becomes something else, something, better. Well, that's arguable, I guess, but it's something that's new, different, and quite elevated from the original ingredient. And I think that justifies the price. And not to mention the fact that it's really portable. It's really awesome.
So, we just paid up and learned that they just had a robbery here, which is horrible. They were broken into and stuff was taken. And
So it's credit card only for now, but they will go back to taking cash later on. But it was really nice. That was 28 euros with a small tip. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So we had one fish dish less than the other place, but we had the olives and lupins. So, it all evens out.
Good. So recommend it if you're in the hood, as it were, and also at home. Don't rule out getting some good quality canned seafood as a lunch option, or surprise your friends when they come over for drinks.
Especially if it says, that
Product
it's
of
from
Portugal.
or even Spain.
Yeah. All right. So until next time, we're going to
like,
subscribe,
comment,
and share, and
next time.
eat really well.